What? Smile.
I'm Olivia, and I'm the stage manager of A Christmas Carol at Russell Sage College. So where should we start? Kylie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Kylie LaViolet. I played Mrs. Cratchit in A Christmas Carol. I am a sophomore creative arts and therapy major with a concentration in theater at Russell Sage College.
Julia?
Hi, my name is Julia Megan. I played Peter Cratchit in A Christmas Carol, and I am 12 years old and in the 7th grade at the Susan Odell Taylor School.
Emerson?
My name is Emerson Megan. I'm 10 years old. I was a child in A Christmas Carol, and I'm in 5th grade in the Susan Odell Taylor School.
Eleanor?
Hi, I'm Eleanor Baker. I'm 7 years old. I played Martha Cratchit in The Christmas Carol, and I go to Gardner Dickinson.
Charlotte?
I'm 12.
Charlotte, whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Baker. I am 9 years old. I go to Gardner Dickinson, and I am in 4th grade, and I play the turkey boy.
Vinny?
Hi, my name's Vinny. I am a junior childhood education major with a concentration in history. And I played Bob Cratchit, and I was also the sound designer.
And David?
And hi, my name's David Baker. I am an associate professor of theater at Russell Sage College, and I directed the production.
Awesome. So our first question is, what was different about filming the show than doing a live show? And how do you think that changed what the show was like for you? We'll start with Kylie again.
All right. Filming the show is definitely very different. There were a lot of scenes where I would be talking to my children and there would be no one there. So I'd be talking to a camera and I'd be like, scolding the camera or whatever. It was very interesting to yell to camera. It was fun. It was different to do this because there was no authentic connection there. Like I couldn't look into people's eyes and have that moment on stage like usual. Instead, I remember there was one point where Vinny and I were not reading lines, but like saying lines from across the stage and having a full-on conversation at the camera, not looking at each other, just at the camera. It was also very different to be quiet while things were going on, instead of going down to the dressing rooms and kind of sorting everything out, being able to, okay, what's my next scene? What's my next line?
Awesome. Julia, how about you? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you either.
You want to mute and unmute? I still can't hear you. We'll have you answer a different question. We'll have Charlotte. Charlotte, what was different about filming than doing a show in person?
Well, filming, it was a lot harder. Like, you had to look at the camera and you had to shoot a lot more scenes. And when you're doing the play, it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. All right. Our next question is, how did you prepare for your scenes and how was that different in the environment that we had to film in? Emerson, do you want to answer?
Sure. So preparing for each of the scenes, you weren't really prepared. It wasn't really like a big, like the one long scene. It was more like the little ones, so you could like break it up kind of. It was like little takes through, and that would like be put together, so you could kind of like break it up, and that's like kind of how I thought of it.
Vinny, do you want to answer?
Yeah. So to prepare for Bob Cratchit, first I did a lot of homework with him. I watched some other version of Christmas Carol to kind of see what his character was like before going into it. And with this one, memorizing lines was a lot easier than memorizing on stage lines because, like Emerson said, they're all broken up into little scenes. So instead of going through the entire show, you're saying like little paragraphs, little lines, little snippets. So if you had issues with lines, you're able to just pick it up a little quicker.
Thank you. Our last question is how, if it was easier for you, was filming rather than doing it live? Do you think it was more difficult to do a show live? And I think we'll have David answer this question.
Well, they're both very different. They're time consuming in different ways. Filming is very fast. You don't spend a lot of time on scenes or with characters. And when you're doing a play, you spend a lot more time working on things. Most of the work that's done with filming happens post-production and editing. So that's when a lot of it gets done. But we did do about 2 weeks of rehearsals before we filmed it, and to me, that's the biggest difference. Is filming is faster.
Mm-hmm. Eleanor, how about you? What do you think?
So, yeah, I really liked, I would rather do it in person, but filming was a lot different, definitely a lot different. For some examples, like filming, I feel like in person you'd have to prepare more, but filming, I didn't really have to prepare as much.
Yeah. Julia, do you want to try again?
Not working. I don't know
Oh,
why.
There it is.
You're
Can you
back.
hear me?
We're good. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So like they were both saying, I think that filming is a lot easier just because there's less to prepare and you don't have to be as on top of everything. But for those same reasons, I think that live theater is more fun because you like it takes more rehearsal time so you get closer to the people that you're doing it with.
I agree. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're going to have our next group introduce themselves. We'll start with Tyler.
Hi, my name's Tyler Cardona, and I'm a sophomore here at Sage. I study musical theater, and I played Scrooge.
Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica Juraski, and I am a junior musical theater major with a dance minor, and I am playing the role of Fan.
Cameron.
Hello, my name is Cameron Richardson. I am a freshman musical theater major, and I played the ghost of Christmas Present.
Noah.
Hi, I'm Noah Doherty. I'm a freshman. I'm a musical theater major, and I played Marley.
And Regina.
Hi, I'm Regina. I am a sophomore musical theater major, and I played the Ghost of Christmas Past.
All right. So our first question is for our ghosts. So Cameron, Noah, and Regina. What was the best or what was the hardest part about getting into character when your characters are larger than life? We'll start with Cameron.
I feel like the best part was definitely getting into costume, because I got to put on this big coat and I got to put on all this makeup and really feel like spectacular once I was in the, you know, the whole get up.
Regina?
I agree. I think that the costume and the makeup was definitely the best part. I think one of the hardest parts was being confined to a square on film and not being able to use your movement to kind of portray the ghost.
Mm-hmm. And Noah?
I think my favorite part was definitely the chains, and the hardest part was definitely working on Zoom with such a small space, just your face.
So that brings right into our next question, which is for Tyler and Erica. What was the biggest challenge when working rehearsals on Zoom and not being able to have that in-person interaction? We'll start with Tyler.
I think definitely like the biggest challenge was like people had said, there's such like a confined space that you have to put yourself in, and it's so difficult to like act out these big characters when it's like this little small screen, or when we're actually recording at this little camera, that I don't know, it felt kind of weirdly draining a lot of the time too. I know me and David had talked about it a lot. Sometimes it's like just rehearsing just in this space is so, I don't know what it is, it's just so tiring.
Zoom fatigue.
Yeah.
Erica, how about you?
I would say the hardest thing for me was I had trouble keeping my head and face focused on the camera while reading my lines. And the other thing I had trouble with was sometimes being able to hear everyone clearly, because Zoom can make it difficult and can sometimes cut people out or freeze up.
Yeah. And our last question is for David. What was different about the process when you got to rework the scenes during filming, when that's not an option you get once you get to a live show?
Well, yeah, a lot of the times the things that you're rehearsing for the stage pretty much stay that way, you know, with very little variation. You know, you develop it over time, but by the time it gets there, the show freezes and it's done. Yeah, the big difference is I think we rehearsed it very loosely over Zoom. And so when it came to filming it, we had a little bit of flexibility. And if we wanted to change something, we could say, let's do another take and do it this way this time. And we sort of did the number of takes we needed to feel comfortable, both as performers and as a director. That moment was fully explored. And then we were all done with it forever till it got edited. So yeah, that's the big difference. I think filming, you can be a little looser than on stage.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that was great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.